Attention. Beat by Whisper.
I see no go tell. Whisper. Give me a body. Now me and you today. Oh. I no go tell anybody. Give me a body. From Canada to Senegal, I never see this kind of girl. I can't go Bariga, me the sugar girl. She fine, she cute. Oh lo lo lo, sugar lele, step back here, give me gege.
Alright, still GistNeTzv magazine, and on the show today we're having a twin. He is one half of a twin, and seriously, I love twins so much that I wouldn't mind having a set for myself. I'm talking about none other than Kehinde Hassan, whom we know as Kent Oxygen. Great to have you here. Just wipe her. Great to have you here, Kehinde or Kent. Now, before we go on, let me start by giving you this one. I want to know what kind of delicacies you love. So let me ask you this one in particular. For 10 million naira, would you eat a bowl of live crickets? 10 million naira, a bowl of live crickets.
No, I wouldn't.
10 million naira. The cash is, let's not even do check. Like the cash is already in front of you here, and the bowl is handed over to you.
Okay.
Yes. Would you eat it for 10 million?
Would you?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Of course I won't.
Why?
My stomach is too precious for me. I wouldn't want to pick something that would kill me or probably make me run the toilet. Like more.
10 million. You know people love money.
Yeah, people love money.
Are you saying you don't love money that much?
Of course I do. But no, it's not possible. It's not possible.
Interesting. You wouldn't even do that for money. Okay, let's take your word for that. Okay, now you are the male half of a twin.
Okay.
Yes, you have a twin sister,
Sure.
Taiwo. Now let's go back to when you were kids, as a twin and as a member of your family. What was growing up like for you?
Oh well, it was fun, and at the same now I can say it was fun, but then it was more like wow, because if you look at the gap between my twin and I and our immediate elder sister, we're having like 6-7 years gap, so and a family of 7, so you could imagine. It was as if everybody was always picking up on us and all that. You know, of course, there was some parts that, you know, being the last born, you would enjoy the privileges. But on the other hand, you have to be the one to do most of the house chores. So it was more like, oh. We're looking at ourselves like the Israelites of those days in the land of Egypt.
Oh, Egypt. So aside from that now, what is the most memorable part of your childhood?
Okay, I would say it should be the aspect where there's a goodie, probably a piece of meat or a few pieces of meat in the plate, and or probably a piece of cake, and we're supposed to share. And oh, I ain't that, but now you guys are old, so let the younger ones share. So you know, you feel like, okay, that's a moment.
All right then, that's great. Okay, as a child now, you must have had lots of aspirations.
Okay.
Looking at, okay, I want to be this when I grow up. What picture of your grown-up life did you have back then?
I had a lot. I had a lot. At a point, I actually wanted to be a medical doctor.
Okay.
I was always dreaming about that. But then, there's this music part of me.
Okay.
I grew up in the choir, and I could remember there was a time I told my mom, I was sick then, right? So when I was recovering, I stood up and walked up to her and told her, Mommy, I want to become a choir master. And she was like, are you serious? That's not a profession. Yeah, so of course, being a kid, I had lots of aspiration, but then today it's a whole lot different. I went to school, I studied computer science.
Okay.
Unlike me wanting to be a medical doctor.
Okay.
I actually dropped that ambition because I was always scared of blood. Yes, so I couldn't stand seeing the sight of blood. So it was like, okay, let me just withdraw. Okay, what else do I like? Okay, I like gadgets.
Okay.
Let me go into computer. But then music was still there.
Oh, okay. So, loving gadgets, you could actually work on fixing things.
Yes, I was fond of always trying to connect wires together, trying to like pull connections together. I want to say, okay, why is it that when I press this, the light comes up? I wanted to know the brain behind everything, so I was really very inquisitive.
Okay.
So I think that helped me.
Up, it's your girl DJ Lambo, Nigeria's foremost female DJ. You're checking out GistNeTzv. Keep keeping it locked.
I am Joseph Benjamin. Keep watching GistNeTzv. That's right. You want all the juicy gist about your favorite celebrities? It's right here. Don't touch that dial.
You started your music career from the choir, even wanting to be a choir master.
Yeah.
What part did you sing? Then?
I used to, at first I started with playing the akuba, that's the tom-tom and the bass.
Okay.
Then later I started playing, there's this instrument we call samba.
Okay.
I started playing samba. Then from samba, I was very small then. I tried playing the tambourine, but because the one we had in church then was way, way bigger than my size. So I was always having ache around my hands. So I dropped that. So I majored on the akuba drums and all. So much later I started singing.
Okay.
Yes.
So, looking at the fact that you journeyed into music, or you decided to sing, looking at the kind of music that you sing, you do more like high life flavor, slows, and more like ballads and something around that kind of genre. Why did you choose to make your music, or to carve your music in that kind of structure?
Okay, first of all, there are more to my style of music. You can say, yes, I do more of high life. Yes, you're right. You can say I do more of jazz. You can say I do more of soul. But the thing is, my music is an expression of what I feel inside of me.
Okay.
I could be talking to you, or I could be eating amala, and I just feel like, okay, why not do something like apala? I'm eating amala, let's do apala now. You understand? I could, it's not really a style like, how do I put it now? Like I'm barricaged. Okay. My music comes with my expression, my inner expression in me. It's like I was talking to my manager. See, the kind of music I want to do. At a point, I envisaged that people are going to say, okay, is he an high life artist, or is he a gospel artist, or is he a secular artist? But hey, I don't care. I want to do what comes from my mind. Okay. That's it.
All right, but then looking at what you just said now, there's this, normally people have to ask, because there's this mentality that when it comes to music, if you're going to do gospel, do gospel. If you're going to do Fuji, do Fuji. Or generally, if you're going to do something circular, do something circular. Now you're coming to give us, okay, to mention some of your songs now. You have this one that you featured David of Okomi, that you featured David of Infinity in, and you have Omoyele, you have this other one now, Ewa, and some other ones. Looking at it, people be like, what's the link?
Yes. You see, the problem we have is this. I mean, people generally, we tend to be very sentimental about issues. Let's look at it. What is gospel? A lot of artists out there, they do gospel, but they tell you they don't do gospel. Now, a lot of gospel artists, they tell you, oh, I do gospel. Why do you think your music is gospel? Oh, because can't you see I'm saying Jesus is this or whatever. But I feel gospel is about preaching the good news. And if we're talking about preaching the good news, there are so many sides to gospel. Christ didn't just tell us, oh, obey your father and your mother, or do not kill, or do not commit adultery. These things, okay, fine, he told us those things, and he said, okay, love your neighbor as yourself. At a point, he was even talking to us about, okay, how the husband should be committed to the wife, even in adultery. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say in essence is this. If I can say I'm a gospel artist, for the fact that I'm not picking up the mic and saying, oh, Jesus, I love you all the time, okay, it doesn't mean I'm not a gospel artist. Okay, my music, what does it preach? Okay, let's talk about Okomi. Okomi preaches hope. You go to the church on Sunday and your pastor tells you, yes, I know the witches and wizards are pursuing you, but don't worry, you just have faith. One day you will scale through. Or, oh, I know you're going through financial crisis, but don't worry, believe. That's hope. We talk about Okomi, love. Don't we go to church, oh, I want to get married, I take my wife to church and say, okay, pastor, I want you to join us together. Aren't we talking about love?
We are.
I'm not talking about the love of, oh, I want to sleep with you, I want you on my bed or in my bed or whatever.
Right.
But I'm talking about love, like the sincere love, true love. I want to marry you. So that's gospel to me. I'm not telling you to pick up a girl outside there and sleep with her, or pick up a guy and sleep with him. To me, that's gospel. If I talk about, okay, Arifin, for example, that's the title of one of my songs. It's actually comic. So like, just talking about two people, two old men trying to, you know, chit-chat with themselves over a bottle of drink. And telling themselves, oh, I'm older than you. No, you're not older than me. Oh, your elder brother is my mate and all that. You know, just trying to make people laugh a bit. Come on, Christ, when he was here on earth, he was always sitting with even sinners, eating with them, and having fun, and you know, smiling. And I don't think Christ was a sad person. So wherever, in fact, the Bible says, wherever you find people laughing, you laugh with them. So is there a crime in laughing? So that means I'm singing gospel.
Yes.
So
just like that. Okay, now let's relate one of your songs, still using your songs now, Alakala.
Okay.
Using that as to depict what exactly is happening in the country today. Yes, how did you come about relating the situation in the country with that song, telling the story of a child that was born and like taking us back in time to those times that they do, checking out the destiny of the child?
Oh well. Talking about Alakala, I would want to give credit to someone who actually inspired me in a funny way to write the song. That's Mr. Balamogaji. He is a foremost gospel music promoter. He called me one day and he told me, Kent, I have this idea in my head. Let's write a song for Alakala. And I said, what do you mean by Alakala? Alakala could be anything. And he told me, okay, Alakala, let's talk about the state of the country. Can't you see everything is in shambles? And okay, and I'm like, okay, let's do something. And the first thing that came to my mind, just like I told you earlier on, my music is an expression of what I have in mind. To me, I believe music is spiritual. So you have to be in the spirit all the time. Yes. So the first thing that came to my head was a baby crying. And I was like, okay, how does that relate with Alakala? And I was like, okay, yeah, to look at, let's analyze this nation. Back then, I used to remember my mom telling me that, oh, Nigeria was awesome. At a point, it was you traveling to UK. You needed no visa to travel. Immediately you finished from probably your secondary school or college or whatever, you already have a standby job waiting for you, and all of a sudden everything turned upside down. So it could, to me, it could only be like, okay, this thing is a misery. Up till now, we keep doing permutation. Okay, this person cost us to be in this state. That person cost us to be in this state. But nobody can specifically say, okay, this is what is happening in Nigeria. So it's more like an alakala to me. Like, okay, what our elders told us then, oh, this land is, okay, was it, she know with this Nigeria where they talk, say, honey day. So why is it that, okay, for example, we even supplying light to other countries, but why can't we have light? So it tells you that what our forefathers told us then, probably, or the dream they saw that made them pursue and give their life for this nation, probably what they saw was alakala. But then we can still see a little bit light at the end of the tunnel, so we'll cling on to that hope.
We'll hold on to that hope. Now, we will be back to talk about your latest song, Oga Paito.
Okay.
Definitely, you will tell us about that. But then we will be back as we will be linking up with Shion right now as he brings us the I bet you didn't know fact for the day. We will be back.
Keep watching.
GistNeTzv.
Hey, welcome once again to I Bet You Didn't Know, where I give you interesting, amazing, weird but true facts that'll make you realize that we live in an interesting, amazing, weird, true world. Now, humans, that's us by the way, we get to shed 40 pounds of skin in our lifetime, and I bet you didn't know that. Also, we also get to completely regenerate that every month. So hey, guess what? We shed skin. What makes us different from snakes? Of course, we're higher animals, but then, of course, we also have something in common with them. I bet you've been schooled. Until I come your way again, Lighton is back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Shion, for that. I bet you didn't know fact. I'm sure you had fun on that. We still have with us here Kent Oxygen, Kende Hassan, giving us some very interesting gist on GistNeTzv magazine. All right, now, Kent Oxygen, we would look at your Oga Paito song. Looking at the title of that song, at first I was like, hey, which one is Oga Paito again? Kent has come again. What was the idea behind that song?
I get inspired by anything. Could be watching film, could be talking to someone, could be probably a pictorial image in my heart. But then I was discussing with someone, or probably of recent I found myself discussing with people mostly about religion, and we're talking about pastor and all that. And what I deduced or noticed is a lot of people will worship our pastors so much. And was it on Facebook? I was reading a post by Corey, and he was saying something about it's high time Christians stop worshiping pastors and clinging on to God. That the only work of the pastor is to bring people to God. Like, okay, take them to the presence of God and let God himself direct them. And, I was just thinking, and I was like, okay, a lot of us, we've turned our pastors to our God. We worship them, and let's even look at this pastor's self. Like, okay, Paito, what's up with our pastors? And I try to work something around it, talking about some of these pastors actually do not know their calling. Some knew their calling, but the love of money is the root of evil. A lot of them they've actually derailed from the calling, and the song Ogapaita is just to, like, try and make them, whoever falls in that bracket, to bring them back. Remember my calling. So the song was talking about, okay, a pastor whose calling was to always enlighten the people, who help the needy, and bring up a ministry. And finally you got that. But what have you done? Have you really sat down, like, to nurture your ministry, or you're just busy flying around? So that's basically the idea about the song.
Aside from being Kent Oxygen, the musician, what else do you do?
Like I said earlier, I studied computer science.
Okay.
So presently I have a 9-to-5 employment. I work in an audit firm. Yeah, so it's more like when music is not paying, of course you have a job that is taking care of the bills. So it's simple.
All right,
You can put all your eggs in
in one basket, which is going to make me ask you this next question. The younger generation feel, I just want to be like Kent Oxygen, I want to be like this person, I want to be like that person. After all, this person didn't go to school and he's making it mega, mega, mega. What kind of advice would you give to those kind of people?
Well, it's pretty simple. First, you can't be like Kent Oxygen. You have to work on how you would be like yourself. Then, after that, what the kind of society we find ourselves in today, if you don't have that qualification, you are like, shooting yourself at the back of your heel. So you need to try as much as possible, go to school. But then, if you don't have the opportunity or the finance, the privilege to go to school, find something doing, because music is not something that is going to pay you like that the moment you start doing it. No, it could take you 5, 10, 15 years. So it's a long-term project. So pending that time, you need to find something that is paying your bills. You also want to look good in the sight of your fans, in the sight of the people you're trying to convince to love your music. So that's it.
All right then, nice words of wisdom. So, if I should ask, or definitely I will ask, what is your current favorite Nigerian song?
That should be Iyawomi by
Timi
Timi
Dakolo. Okay, Iyawomi by Timi Dakolo. All right, here's a video of Iyawomi by Timi Dakolo.
Hi, my name is Kiki Omili. Keep watching GistNeTzv.
Yo, what up? This is your boy, Mr. F.A, repping LIB all day, and you're watching GistNeTzv. Like an angel in the morning, shooting star across the night, the most beautiful girl I've seen in all my life. Every second spent with you, it's like a day that starts brand new. Girl, I'm so amazed at all the things you do. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and for always. And girl, you are my sunshine, baby, don't you go away. I want me, all over me, or me, I like you. I will love you forever. I want me, all over me,
us a picture of what your 5-year projection is like. What do you see yourself working on for the next 5 years?
I'm just going to keep doing what I am doing, and hope that God blesses the works of my hand.
Okay.
And
all right then. Let's see what happens. Thank you so much for joining us on this show. So how can your fans connect with you?
they can reach me on Twitter at Kent Oxygen. That's KENT Oxygen. They can also reach me on Facebook. That's Kent Oxygen Asan.
Okay.
Yes. On Instagram, same at Kent Oxygen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Great having you here. Thank you. All right. Follow us on Twitter at GistNeTzv Mag, and not forgetting our blogspot www.GistNeTzvMagazine.blogspot.com, and also check out our Facebook page www.facebook.com/GistNeTzv Mag. Thank you so much for joining us.
My name is Anes Anekwe. Keep watching
GistNeTzv.
Give me a body. Now me and you today, oh. I no go tell anybody. Give me a body.